how to detect a narcissist and get your Narc-o-Meter on point and working correctly. Well, the first thing that's going to happen is narcissists they tend to run a series of tests on you. They're trying to see how you're going to react. I'm going to give you some different examples. One of the ones I knew, he started to flirt with somebody else on social media on purpose, that he knew I would see it. And he wanted to see, would this upset me? Was he going to get good reactions from me? This is before we had even met in person. So he was basically trying to gauge if I was going to be a good target. If I'm already reacting over his little tests, which at the time I did because I didn't know any better, and I took the bait and fell right into it and got upset because he knew I had a crush on him. So he was trying to see, okay, let me try this, let me do this on purpose and see how she's gonna react. So this is a telltale sign. They're running a series of tests on you to see if you're gonna be a good victim and a good source of supply for the future. So they're gonna do this very early on. They want to see how good of a servant you're going to be, and if you're going all crazy and ballistic and they're getting all this energy out of you, you're going to be a perfect source of supply for them, and they're going to be able to toy with your emotions, play with you, control your ups and downs. That's what they want. So in that way, he continued moving forward. And then he later tried something else, and it was at that point that I just kind of realized, I was picking up on pretty much all the red flags, but sometimes you might let one slide because you're like, you give people the benefit of the doubt. You're like, oh, well, I'll give them like one screw up or two, but maybe 3 strikes and you're out, so I was just kind of monitoring. Then he tried to triangulate me with another different person, and I just didn't. I was like, okay, I'm done. So, but then another thing I noticed, is that right off the rip, I was talking to this new guy recently, and he right off the rip started talking crap about his ex-girlfriend. And so I knew, I'm like, oh my god, he's probably a narcissist. And so he made a comment, and he has a child with this person too. So, imagine talking crap about a woman that basically ripped her body in half to bear you a child, and you're talking crap about this person, and first of all, if you're meeting someone new, as in me, shouldn't you be inquiring and trying to get to know all about that person, and why the fact of even bringing up your ex is rude and disrespectful, and then the fact that you're talking crap about her is even more rude and disrespectful. So I just these people are not human. It's, you have to kind of say to yourself, if someone speaks negatively about the mother of their own child, how do you think they're gonna treat you? Granted, the woman could be a horrible person, but I don't know you, we haven't even met in person yet, we were just kind of emailing, and you're already making weird comments about your ex, actually I believe they were married, your ex-wife, and he just made some weird comment like, oh, I don't know, she was okay with faking it, but I didn't want to do that. I couldn't live like that. And then he made some, like he was saying like maybe she was pretending she was happy and he wasn't. But it seemed like he was trying to get me to start talking crap about her, and I'm just like, so I just went, oh, I hear you. And he didn't respond after that, because he knew, I knew, like I was sending him a signal, like, well, I'm not going to take part in that. What did he think? I was going to start talking crap about your ex-wife, your ex-girlfriend? I don't know the situation. I'd have to hear her side of the story, and either way, I'm not going to say anything negative about her because she's your past. I don't know her. That has nothing to do with me. So within 5 minutes, you're already talking crap about your ex and trying to drag me into something. I don't get into stuff like that. You know, that's not my problem. If you're not trying to get to know me and ask me about, you know, what I'm doing and what makes me tick, what does your ex have to do with anything? So I didn't respond. I just go, oh, I hear you. And he didn't respond because he knew I was just kind of like not taking the bait and not getting involved in the messiness. And just prior to that, he had said like, oh, I don't like drama. I don't get into that. And he also claimed to be like a church person, which oftentimes that's another red flag because the churches are infiltrated with narcissists. But I was, you know, giving him a chance. He said like he sang in the church since he was 4 years old and he plays music and stuff. And then, so I didn't respond when he was like talking about his ex, and I just kind of like cut the conversation short. Then he comes back the next day and he's like, oh, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know, I'm not feeling that good. Could you please pray for me? No response. I'm just like, this guy is totally a narc. He just failed. They think they test us. Well, hello, I'm testing you as well. We know narcs cannot deal with sickness. They hate when people are sick. They can't deal with anything. If you're not 100% to serve them, oh my God, it's like a disaster. It's like life is just going to end if they don't have a servant. So I purposely said that, and he claimed to be in the church since he was 4 years old. So I'm thinking like, let me see what he says if I ask him to pray for me and tell him I'm not feeling that good. So he disappeared. He didn't even respond. Then, this was yesterday, he comes back today, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get your message. Oh, I'm sorry, you're sick, I'll pray for you. And I'm just like, so I didn't respond back, because, why are you responding a day later and making up some sorry excuse that you didn't get the message when every other single time we were messaging, you responded right away. But now all of a sudden you didn't get the message? No, you don't know how to act. If someone says, oh, I'm sick, and you just can't say, oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that, I'll pray for you. Or just any cordial thing that takes 2 seconds of your time. If you can't do that, then we have a serious problem, because let's say you get with this person in 20 years from now, you get breast cancer, or who knows what could happen. Do you really expect that person to be there for you? They can't even say a prayer for you, and they claim they've been in the church since they were a child. I mean, this is the type of people that we have to deal with. These people are not human. If a person can't even show you common courtesy that doesn't even cost money, it's free to pray for someone else. It's free to Just listen to someone else, offer them support, be a shoulder to cry on, just use your ears and listen. Do anything. That is free. If you can't do that, then we have a major problem. So my point is this. Major red flags for narcissists are, many of them are in the church. So just because someone says they're a church person does not mean they're a good person. There are tons of demons infiltrated into the church. Other red flags, if they immediately start talking negatively about their ex. 2, if they cannot deal with you being sick. 3, if they start running all these tests on you right off the bat, flirting with people, being disrespectful, they're trying to test you. These are major red flags. And of course, then we have the other stuff like love bombing, which is a dead giveaway. So they're probably going to move away from that. I don't know. They may come up with cook up some other scheme to do. But since this just happened recently, I thought it was a good thing to point out to people, because they give themselves away from day one. The signs are there. So if they're acting what you perceive to be as oddly and not normal, and just general common courtesies that should come naturally to everyone, they can't even exhibit these common courtesies, chances are they're a narcissist.